Good morning, everyone. This is James Nussbaumer, and I am the author of The Master of Everything, a story of mankind in the world of illusion that we call life. On sale everywhere books are sold and published by Ozark Mountain Publishing Company. Very proud of this book. And the sequel, Mastering Your Own Spiritual Freedom, is on its way out very soon. In fact, the cover design is already ready. But it is a very good morning here in Ohio. In fact, you may see the sun over here trying to peek in through the window. It looks like we're going to have a great day, and I might just have to head out and play some golf today, the thing that I love most to do in life other than write. But I wanted to make this blog today about, why we need to appreciate the bridges in our own life story and where we can overcome tragedy. In the midst of tragedy, your spirit does bridge the way to help you get through it. It was Samuel Coleridge who said, "Honor or wealth with all his worth and pains." It sounds like stories from the land of spirits, he said. We all have our story, as I'd said. And for me, by the mid-1990s, the U.S. Air Force was behind me, and so was my marriage to my first wife, Lori. We'd both say later that we'd outgrown it, that the marriage had outgrown itself. And, speaking, there was healing that was needed. And I want to read you something out of my book, chapter 20, called Allowing Darkness to Find the Light. I say in my book, the first step toward healing and trusting your true vision involves a sorting out of the confusion between falsehood and truth. We must be aware that not to live in fear because everything happens for a reason. Now, as I look back and the good times that her and I had, sure, the healing was necessary, but and it did take place, but it made room for us both to move on. And next, I was stumbled after the Air Force. I'd found my way into the financial services business, just stumbled into it, like I'd said, never wanted to plan to be there, just stumbled into it. I was training hard and making it as a financial broker, making investment decisions for many people and myself around the world. It was the yuppie years. I don't know if you remember that term, yuppie, which meant former hippies were joining the business world. And yes, before the Air Force, I had shoulder-length hair, just like the style was at the time. But rather than bell-bottoms and tie-dyed shirts now, the wave was three-piece suits or a suit with suspenders. And, I was, like I'd said, I was making these financial decisions and investment strategies amazingly for affluent people all over the world. It was just in awe of what I was doing. And yes, it was a little shaky. I was a little fearful of it, but it was what I was doing. And this was now my place in the world. And I had a home, a nice house, a fast car to keep me honest at working long hours. It was the thing to do, at least for me. And a business professional is who I was and who I would be to the world. The answers I discovered were called money and more money. Money was to solve all the problems, I thought. I was living fast and having fun and success. However, one thing was wrong. It really didn't feel right to me, that business. Something was missing. But I bought some advice from a veteran in the industry who told me, something will always seem to be missing, he'd said. So I worked harder and stayed with it and was making a life for myself. My questionable Catholic faith remained with me in the form of all the Hail Marys I could muster, which I really didn't understand that prayer too well, but it was something that was embedded into my prayer system. Then my bachelorhood was interrupted by the beautiful auburn-haired Lori, who knocked me off my bar stool one evening and onto the dance floor. Yes, another Lori. In fact, spelled the same, and she became Lori number 2, as I was often teased in a fun-loving manner by my friends and family, who wholly supported, though, my loving relationship with Lori. It wasn't long before the new Lori, Lori number 2, became my wife, and about 10 months later, the lovely auburn-haired Megan Rose was born into the world. I now felt I had the task to make a future for the two half-sisters, Erin and Megan. One thing for certain in my mind was that these two little girls, would be given the opportunity to share a life together as sisters of one family, regardless of their having different mothers. I was firm on this. And I needed to convince my ex-wife, Lori number one, who is Aaron's mother, to cooperate. And yeah, there was a few hassles along the way, but it all worked out well. Like any family that's a split family, we ran into a few minor complications and like I said, hassles along the way, but something was always seemed to accommodate a bridge for both sides of our split family. Plans on with her mother's side of the family and our side of the family, and you know how that goes in divorce situations today. But it all worked out well. A Course in Miracles teaches us that the bridge itself is nothing more than a transition in the perspective of reality. To this day, Aaron of my first Lori and Megan are as close as any two sisters could possibly be with their 7-year age difference. In fact, they both have a resemblance of each other that is just remarkably beautiful and simply lovely, even though both complain occasionally, at least while they were growing up as teenagers, about the colic in their hairline, the same colic that I have that was given to me and passed on to me by my mother. As I write this, Erin is a school teacher with her own family now, and Megan pursues law school. As I speak of in my book about the importance of leveraging healthy memories, if channeled correctly, will beat adverse situations always. The whole goal of a healthy memory is to understand that you are wholesome yourself and that we are all deeply connected. I remember one cold, clear winter night that the two girls, Lori number two and I, spent on ice skates at a neighborhood lake. A star-filled moonlight sky was the only witness to a conversation that Lori and I were having about God, life, the cosmos, and our future together. I can still see the moon glistening into Lori's deep brown eyes and reflecting off of them as we pondered our mortality, the future of the girls, and more. And the things that a star-filled moonlight clear night can bring out, the conversations that it can lend. She looked so lovingly into my eyes as we stood across from each other on our skates, with a cold steam showing proof of our breath. But the loving look she gave me was that of a friend more than a lover. In a light tone, she said to me, "I don't know what you are, Jim. I feel as though I can see through your eyes and directly into you. It's scary." "What are you, honey?" she said to me, and she hugged me and skated off, giggling like a child being mischievous or something. Lori passed away only a few years later following a fight with cancer. She was only 35 years old. As Coleridge concludes in moving us to understand life and tragedy in this world, in The Great Man, if he says, and he adds, "If any man obtain that which he merits, or merit that which he obtains." And I'll repeat that. It's in his writing piece called The Good Great Man. If any man obtain that which he merits, or merit that which he obtains. Here's to your own story. And by the way, let me add quickly that I have a system that I use to attract real abundance into my life. And there's a link on the description box of this YouTube video that you can click on. It will take you to my website, to my Real Abundance page. And it's about a system that I use that earns me attractive residual income online, in addition to the income royalties I make from my books. It's a marketing system that helps anyone that's self-employed or has a business going. And I'm so pleased with the results that I'm getting. It's real and run by really good people, and the common theme is good people helping other good people. So if you'd like to learn more, click on the link, go to my website, and tool around all that you'd like. My website is made simple. There's not a lot of thrills to it, but that's really the way that I want to keep it. Simplicity is everything for me in life. Hey, thanks for putting up with me, and I hope maybe some of this made sense if you're going through a little bit of a tragedy or a breakup, or your heart is a little bruised over something going on in your life, that we just need to keep pressing forward, and things do work out. Thanks for listening to me again. I wish the best life for you ever. God bless.